Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green. I'm the manager of the Swindon Town Swoodilypoopers, who today are playing Hull City in the third to last game of the championship season. If we so much as, we should be able to move forward into the Premier League even if we lose today. But if we win today, I think we will definitely move forward into the Premier League. And today you're witnessing a preview of the likely starting 11 for the FA Cup final. I'm trying out this lineup because I think that this is how we're gonna play in the FA Cup final. We've got Ginger Rampage and One Size Fits All in the back. We've got John Green and John Green, teammates in life and in love, as our forwards. Leroy Williamson in the middle, along with French Lana, Perry Perry, etc. So I think this is going to be our team for the FA Cup final. I'm going to talk to you today about what's been going on with the Swoodilypoopers, and I wish I had better news. Unfortunately, all is not well in Swindon, and you can kind of tell just from the way we're playing. I mean, we're getting, frankly, outplayed by Hull City. By the way, it's raining in England. We've also got P. Smith, who still doesn't have a first name, in the back there. My favorite suggestion so far for P. Smith's name is he would have the nickname Jean-Luc, and his name would be Picard Smith. So his name would be Jean-Luc Picard Smith. Nice through ball there from John Green to John Green, but John Green not ready for the ball. Just generally, we look disorganized, and I'll tell you why. There has been, I would say, a considerable upset in the Swindon Town locker room over the last week. So, we've sort of based our identity for the last two seasons as a club on being the underdogs. We are statistically worse than almost every team that we play. That was true last season. It's certainly true this season. And that's been who we are and how we think of ourselves. Perry Perry up the line, and then just a terrible cross. No other way to say it. Well, it's become obvious that we're going to probably go to the Premier League, and that's led to a lot of players feeling concerned about their place in the squad and upset and worried that they may not be a part of the club's future. And in many cases, that is an appropriate concern. If you are, wow, we just look horrible. If you're Voluptuous Pericard, you have a reason to be worried that next year you're not going to factor into the Swoodilypoopers' plans, certainly not as much as you did this year. And it got worse because Stone Cold Steve with the C. Austin said in the press that John Green clearly only likes to play with John Green up front. He made the joke. He said they're clearly monogamous because they won't play with anyone else. That's not fair. I mean, they've both played with Stone Cold Steve with the C. Austin this season, and they'd both do it again. Ball John Green fails to finish. Oh, his mustache is beautiful, but that shot was not. He's exhausted. I don't blame him. So there's just been a lot of that led to a lot of conversations about, asking me privately if they're going to be put out on loan or if they're going to be put up for sale at the end of the season, if they're going to be still in the starting lineup or if they're going to be replaced by better players. Look, if we're going to be in the Premier League and we're going to be playing Premier League level competition every single day, obviously some of these guys aren't going to be starting. I mean, for instance, Jean-Luc Picard Smith probably is not going to be our starting keeper in the Premier League. I mean, he's probably going to have a 3-game career for the Swoodilypoopers. I think Fat Lucas will still factor into our plans in some way, but you're not going to keep Jean-Luc Picard Smith as your goalkeeper. He's a 59 in terms of his quality. We need someone who's better than that. That's just a fact. And then, but a lot of the players, I mean, particularly the guys who don't start every day, they're feeling like they're going to get left out as the Swoodilypoopers move forward. And in some cases, those feelings are legitimate. And that's made for some really difficult conversations. And frankly, for a locker room that doesn't feel as unified. And you can see it on their faces right now. I mean, that just isn't the Swoodilypoopers that we're used to. And I guess I haven't done a good job as a manager because what do I say? What do I say to someone? What do I say to Bowden when he comes into my office and he says, I'm worried that I'm not going to be on the club next year? Of course you're not going to be on the team. You're Bowden. Like, we can't take you to the Premier League. It's nothing personal. Like, you're going to make a lot of money just from getting the side to the Premier League, and you're going to be well compensated for your work. But like, yeah, you can't face Liverpool and Arsenal every week because you're a 45 skill level. Like, we're going to have to go out there into the transfer market and find some, find some really high quality players. And there's no other way to be successful. So we're forced to choose between loyalty and success, and it's an unfortunate choice. And I feel bad for, really for all the guys, but. Even the truth is, even the John Greens, they're not going to be starting every day. I mean, we're going to be looking for players who are of a slightly higher caliber than the John Greens in some cases. So, we're still going to be the Swoodilypoopers, but there are inevitably going to have to be changes. And as we've learned from the new YouTube layout, people don't like change, any kind of change, ever. They don't like it when you change Facebook. They don't like it when you change YouTube. And, of course, these players aren't going to like it when we change the Swoodilypoopers. But we've got to build a team that can be successful. Look at Leroy Williamson running up the middle. This guy scores occasionally. He really does. It's something that he doesn't do frequently. Oh, Leroy Williamson. Almost gets a shot off. I need to stop. When I'm playing the FA Cup final, I must not worry about Leroy Williamson scoring. It must not be the obsession that it clearly is for me most days, including today. Speaking of which, I have to tell you guys, I think about the FA Cup final. I mean, I have my first book in 3.5 years coming out in about 35 days, and we're also launching this big new channel, SciShow and Crash Course, and I think about whether I'm going to win the FA Cup final game against Chelsea probably more often than I think about either of those things. Like, I dream about it. It keeps me up at night. I dream about the lineup. I dream about what I'm going to say if other John Green or Ball John Green scores. I've dreamt about every facet of winning that game, of bringing the glory of Swindon Town to the FA Cup. It's something that by the way, it appears that one of the Cullen boys is now playing for Hull City, so now we really have to win. Oh! Perry. I think that was Perry. It might not have been. All of my guys are exhausted. So I'm pretty frustrated with the Swoodoo. What I want is I want my boys to want what's in the best interest of the team, even when that's not always in the best interest of themselves. Voluptuous Pericard has had a great season, and I hope he's part of the future of the Swindon Town Swoodilypoopers. But even if he's not, he's made more money this season to take care of Alice and the boys than he's ever made before, and he's going to be in great shape for the future. I mean, he's got to think about his. I understand that he has to think about his future, but he's very well positioned regardless of whether he's playing in the Premier League, because he's shown himself to be a player who's far better than he was getting credit for when he was down in League One. So, I mean, that's the gift in my mind. Like, that's what we're providing to guys like Voluptuous Pericard or Sir Cuthbert or whomever, is that, we're giving them that showcase that they need to tell the world about their talent. And if they can live up to that, then that's great. And if they can't, then that's. Oh, Leroy Williamson almost broke it away. Gosh, if we don't win this game, that is not good. We do need to get a couple points to ensure that we go to the Premier League. But, you can see the way the Swoodilypoopers are playing. They're tired, but they're also not playing as a team. Oh, other John Green. He's a finisher! In the 84th minute, a 1-0 victory over Hull City. Other John Green, nay Bennett, with a beautiful goal. Finishing. That's what he does for a living. Oh, beautiful. And he just lays it out. Like, he gives everything for the team. That's why we love him, Oh, he's big, he's tough, he has a brilliant puff. Other John Green. I love that guy. And he did that for the team. He wasn't thinking about the benefit of other John Green, what's in the best interest of other John Green. He was thinking about getting the Swindon Town Swoodilypoopers to the Premier League. So that's what we need from the guys, and we need it in a big way. Oh, other John. Oh, he can't finish. That's the kind of we're gonna have to play so much better against Chelsea. I mean, we barely squeaked out a 1-0 victory against Hull City. We are gonna have to play a lot better. against Chelsea. Oh. Definitely feeling anxious. So we've got two games left in the Premier League after this one, and then the FA Cup. Oh, we almost gave it away there. And then the FA Cup final. So hopefully the Swoodilypoopers will get it together, because that's not the kind of performance that we can be proud of. But we get the 3 points. Other John Green with the heroic 86th minute goal, and it looks like the Swindon Town Swoodilypoopers will be moving on to the Premier League, although we won't know for sure until tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Best wishes.